All right, in this next video, we're going to be working in the opposite direction. We are going to be given a shaded region, and then we are going to come up with an expression that represents that. The only symbols we can use are union, intersection, complement, and then our difference of sets. Okay, there is no, can't use a plus symbol because there's no plus symbol in sets. We can't decide we're going to use, some other symbol and like make one up. Those are the only things you can use: union, intersection, difference, and complement. So for all of these, please be aware there is potentially more than one way to represent each of these sets. I'm going to give you one or possibly two ways, but my way might not be the only one. So if you've come up with something different, again, a great way to post that one to the forum and say, hey, does this one work? And then classmates, share your ideas. Tell them why you think it does, or perhaps why you think it doesn't. All right, so in question A here, we have a portion of set B shaded, but again, it's B and B alone. So when I look at that and I say, wait, that is all of set B, and I just want to take out the chunk that is shared with set A. Well, to do that, that is exactly the definition of a difference. So that region right there is B minus A, and you may notice back in example 10, number 10, that is exactly that set. You might also notice in example 11, another way to represent that set, we just did that, was A union B complement and the complement of that. And yet a third possibility would be A complement intersect B. I've had students come up with that one before. So 3 different ways you can do that. I think the first one is by far the simplest. When I'm looking at question B, personally, what I notice is I think it's easier to name that region there that's not shaded, the one I just put the squiggle through. I know that that is where A and B overlap. That section is A intersect B, and I want the exact opposite of that. And so if that's the case, I want to take the complement of that entire thing. Again, there are other ways to do that. One such option would be to do A complement union B complement. But again, for me, the far simplest is the first one. So keep in mind, sometimes it's easier to describe the region that's not shaded. And if that's the case, describe it and then put a complement on it, which means do exactly the opposite. All right. Moving on to problem C. So again, part of the goal here is to kind of look and see if you can recognize some things. So one of the things that I happen to notice is that all of set C is included. All of set C is included. So in my head, what I'm thinking is if I could do a C and form a union, that means I want to combine C with all this other stuff, okay? Well, now looking at the part that is still shaded on the outside, the gray section, if you will, I notice that that's everything outside of A, B, and C. So now if I kind of take a look at, sorry, let me turn on my highlighter. If I kind of look at the stuff that's not shaded gray, so I'm going to shade everything else in here kind of this purple color. If I take a look at that, what is shaded currently is A combined with B combined with C. That is a giant union, A union B union C, and I want exactly the opposite of that, which is a complement. So let me grab my eraser real quick here and show you what it is we've done. So we've got set C, this one right here, combined with everything that is not in set A, circle A, set B, or set C. And that's all this part out here outside of what we have. So again, there may be other ways to represent that, but for me, I think that is the simplest. So please pause the video once again, take some time to come up with a way to represent the regions in set D, E, and F. All right, you can pause the video again at any time and look at C, D, and E. I do want to talk through a little bit of F because I think F can be confusing. So F is all of set C. I think that's pretty clear. And then most people will look at it and go, okay, but then how is it that I just describe this chunk out here? And there are some ways that you can certainly do that. One of the things that I, again, personally notice is that is set A and A alone. In other words, I want to remove this part over here that's shared with set B. And I also want to remove potentially this part that's over here with set C. But again, that one's not such a big urgent deal to me because those parts that have my crisscrossing, the writing on them, and the set C are already included. So really, my goal is to take out this chunk right here. That's kind of my goal. And again, I don't know how to take out just that particular portion. That to me is going to be difficult, but I can take out this portion right here. That part right there is A. Oops, sorry, I need the highlighter. That part right there is A, take away B. So if I want to get to this part, I can fill this in with A, take away B. And so what that would give me is all of region C. Let me get another color here. So that's all of this. And then I would combine that with A, take away the portion in set B. That would be this part right over here. But notice, because I've got C included, what that does is it keeps that little bit in there. And so that's another way that you could represent that. Again, not the only way, just one possibility. So again, take some time. If you come up with something different, please post it. And everybody chime in. Let's help each other out and see if we found other possible ways to represent these sets.